Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Students, the revision. We continue with question number 20. Question from 2004 level. What is the time taken by a ball to reach a speed of 25 meter second minus 1, which is made to fall down vertically with an initial speed of 5 meter second minus 1? Right, they are asking you to find the time taken. The initial velocity which has been given is 5 meter second minus 1. After some while, they are saying the velocity of the ball becoming 25 meter second minus 1. Right, the question is the time taken to this motion. Right, you know the gravitational acceleration which is given in the question is 10 meter second minus 2. Right, here the data that we have when we are doing some questions like this, right, we have to collect the data. Right, what is this final velocity, that is v is equal to 25 meter second minus 1. What is this initial velocity, u, that is equal to 5 meter second minus 1. This is the acceleration, 10 meter second minus 2. They are asking what is the time taken. Right, then you have to select, you have 4 equations for motion. Right, remember, u plus v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to u plus v divided by 2 into t. Right, v squared is equal to u squared plus 2as, s is equal to ut plus half at squared. These are the equations that you have. Right, then using this data, the data given here, right, you have to select the correct equation. Right, if you select this equation, you have v, you have u, you have a, then you can find t. If you select this equation, the s is not there, you have to find t, but the s is not there. In this equation, no t, right, no t available, then you can't use this equation. Then here again the s is there. Right, in the correct equation, the suitable equation is v is equal to u plus at. Right, then we'll select that equation and substitute. The final velocity is 25, initial velocity is 5 plus acceleration 10 into t. Right, therefore the t is equal to 2 seconds. Okay, right, now I'll tell you some easiest way to find this, the 2 seconds. Right, the easiest way, right, using the data which is given as acceleration. To think about the acceleration, the meaning of the acceleration is 10 meter second minus 1 divided by 1 second. That is the 10 meter second minus 2. 10 meter second minus 1 divided by 1 second. What is the meaning of acceleration? Velocity change divided by time taken. Right, this is the time taken. Then what is this? 10 meter second minus 1. That is the velocity change. Then this acceleration has an ability of increasing or decreasing 10 meter second minus 1 in 1 second. Therefore, if the velocity is 5 meter second minus 1 at the beginning, right, each and every second 10 meter second minus 1 is going to increase. Here you have 5, they have given 25. Then how much has been increased? 20 meter second minus 1 increased. For 10 meter second minus 1, 1 second is going to be taken. Right, then for 20 meter second minus 1, right, 2 seconds are going to take. Right, that is the answer. Using that short method you can find the value, or using this method you can find the value. When we are doing the MCQs, this method is very important. Right, keep this in your mind. The G has an ability of increasing 10 meter second minus 1 of the velocity of the object each and every second. Right, when it's coming from up to down, right, when it comes downwards, when it goes up, the velocity is going to reduce. Then what is the ability? Each and every 1 second it can reduce 10 meter second minus 1. Right, that is the question given here. Then the answer is 2 seconds. Second answer. But question number 21. The question from 2005 O level. The force acting upon a piece of iron that is being attracted towards a magnet, right? The force acting upon a piece of iron that is attracted towards a magnet, right, increasing gradually as it comes closer. The velocity time curve for the motion of such piece of iron coming towards the magnet from its stationary position. Increasing gradually. Now look at this. You have a magnet, right? An iron piece of iron, right? Now we'll think about the distance between the magnet and the iron piece as d. When this iron piece at the distance of d, right, there is a force acting on the iron piece, right, we'll take it as F1. Now think about, by this force, this is going to be attracted, then this iron piece is going to move towards the magnet, right? Now think somewhere here, closer to the magnet, right? When it comes closer, the force acted on the object, right, on the iron piece, we'll take it as F2. That F2 is going to more than F1. That is the data given there, right? Which means when it comes closer, the force also gradually increasing, right? Now think about F is equal to ma, equation F is equal to ma at this position, right? F is F1, right? Then the acceleration of the object at this position is going to be a1, right? At this position, F is F2, then the acceleration is going to be a2, right? Because of F2 is more, the higher value, having a higher value, the a2 also has to be have a higher value, has a high value, right? Then a2 is more than a1, because you take like this, a1 is equal to f1 over m, here a2 is equal to f2 over m, right? For the both the same m, if f2 is high, then a2 should be high, right? And a2 is higher than a1, right? Then at this position a1 is the acceleration, this position a2 is the acceleration, right? If you think of position somewhere here a3, then a3 is more than a2 is more than a1, right? Because of gradually increment in the force, right, acceleration also gradually increasing. Then you have to draw a graph, which represent gradually increasing velocity, acceleration. It should show gradually increasing acceleration, right? Think about the patterns that you have in the VT graph. The first pattern, you think like this: constant velocity, a flat, a horizontal graph line, right? Constant velocity, which is going through the zero. Therefore, this is going to represent rest. Time to time, right? The velocity is not increasing; it's in remaining in the same since it's in the zero, right? Therefore, it should be in the rest, right? Think about a portion like this, right? It has a fixed velocity since this has a fixed velocity continuing that velocity. Therefore, this is known as uniform velocity, right? Think about a portion like this. Gradient of the graph. Gradient, it has a gradient, right? Velocity is increasing time to time. If you take this time, the velocity is here. For this time, the velocity is here, right? The time is increasing with the time, the velocity also increasing, means accelerating, right? That acceleration is uniform. It's not changing acceleration is not changing, right? Because the gradient of the graph is not changing, right? Then this is going to represent you the graph, the object which is moving with a constant acceleration. But in this occasion, it's not constant. It's gradually increasing. Time to time, the slope is increasing, right? Then if you want to take a graph which having a time to time increment in the gradient, it should be a curve like this, because at this point the gradient is here, at this point the gradient is going to be this, at this point the gradient is going to be this, right? Then the slope here is more than here, it's more than here. Continuously the slope is increasing, then the graph should be fourth. The correct graph should be fourth. Okay. Question number 22. Question from 2005 O level. The speed of a ball thrown vertically up reduces gradually. At the highest point, the speed becomes 0 and in it increases gradually. The correct statement about the motion of the ball after it is released from the hand, right? Neglect the air resistance. Thrown vertically upwards. At the highest point, the force acting on the ball becomes 0. I told you that the object which is thrown upwards, at the top the velocity is 0. That is correct. But since the acceleration it's not 0. Why? Because acting the if the object is after reaching the top highest point, right, if it is moving without any influence, therefore it has an acceleration to increase its velocity, right? If it's after reaching the top point, right, if it is not having an acceleration, right, then the object should remain in the same point if no acceleration, right? There is an acceleration, that's why it is reducing its velocity. After that it's increasing the velocity. Continuously the acceleration is acting at the top of the point as well, right? Then the acceleration is there. If acceleration is there, according to the equation F is equal to ma, if acceleration is there, the multiple is going to be there, therefore the F is going to be there, right? If F is not becoming 0, then the answer is wrong, right? The only force acting on the ball is its weight. The only force acting on the object is weight, right? The weight after throwing upwards, right? It's correct. Only the weight is going to act. Nobody is there to carry up, right? Nobody is there. Because of the weight only, it's coming again to the ground, right? Then only the weight is acting. Now keep this in your mind. If you are not neglecting the air resistance, then the upthrust which is given by the air, because we are considering the air as a fluid, right? The upthrust which is given by the air also is to be considered, right? But since in this case they are asking you to neglect the air resistance, therefore the W is going to be act, right? That is correct. At the highest point, the direction of the resultant force on the ball reverses. No. Why? Only the force acting on the object is weight, which is directed towards down, right? Now this object vertically, it is having a velocity vertically upwards. Now what is happening when it moves here? The velocity is reducing. After that velocity is increasing, right? That is what is going to happen here, right? Why the velocity is reducing? Because the force acting is in downwards. After going the top of the motion, right, at the highest point, right? In the same direction the W is acting, right? Direction is not changed. That's why it's increasing the velocity after reaching the top highest point, right? Therefore, the third answer is wrong. There is a force acting acting upwards when the ball is going up. There is a force acting upwards. No forces are acting upwards because we are neglecting the air resistance. Then no upthrust. Therefore, only the force acting is W. Then it's wrong. The correct answer is second. A good question. Question number 23. 2006 O level. A velocity of 10 meters second minus 1 when represented in kilogram hour minus 1 is equal to 10 meters second minus 1. I said to you, I already explained you, right? What is how we are converting the velocity into another unit, right? First step is what? We have to write the numerator and the denominator separately. The second step, you have to change this into the required the asked unit, and this also should be changed to the asked unit. The asked one is kilometer per hour, right? Then they change this into hour, change this into kilometer, right? From small to big, right? From small to big, then you have to divide. From small to big, you have to divide by the multiple in between those two units, right? What is the multiple here? What is the multiple here? That is kilo. Kilo means 10 to the power of 3. You have to divide this by 10 to the power of 3. Divide by 1 over second to hour. If you divide by 60, then you will get minutes. Again by another 60, you will get the hour, right? Therefore, this is equal to 60 into 60 into 10 divided by 1000, right? The first answer. Now I'll give you some shortest idea to quickly get the unit values in the meters in between the meter second minus 1 and the kilometer per hour. Now for this, the final answer is going to be, if you cut all the zeros, 36 kilometer per hour. Therefore, 10 meter second minus 1 is equal to 36 kilometer per hour, right? If you take 20 meter second minus 1, that is going to be equal to 72 kilometer per hour, the double of this. Then if you take 5 meter second minus 1, that is going to be equal to 18 meter second minus 1, right? Then the 15 is going to be how much? 36 plus 18, that is 64 kilometer hour, 54 kilometer per hour, right? 30 meter second minus 1, 108 kilometer hour minus 1, right? Then 25 going to be how much? 72 plus 18, 90 kilometer hour minus 1. Right? Keep this in your mind. Don't buy hard. Keep this only one, right? Half of that and half of the double of this, in between everything can be calculated, right? Therefore, keep this in your mind always when you are doing the unit conversion, right? Because normally they give you the multiple of 5s to convert from meter second minus 1 to kilometer per hour. That is easy for you, right? It can be done in 1.5 minutes in the MCQ paper, right? Then when they are ask you unit conversions, right, from meter second minus 1 to kilometer per hour, they will ask this multiple. Go to the question number 12 that we have did already, right? In that question they have given 5 meter second minus 1, okay, 5 meter per second. In this question 10 meter per second, same as the value is going to be differ, right? Okay, question number 23. We'll move to question number 24. Question number 24, question from 2007 O level. The speedometer of motor car which was running along a oval shaped track constantly indicated the speed of the car to be 30 km per hour. Some statements about the motion of a motor car are stated below about that car, right? Its displacement is 0 when it completes one hour, right? Statement questions, when we are doing the statement question you have to go to the answer, right? Go to answer. Okay, B is common in second, third and fourth. We'll go to B and try to make B wrong or try to make B correct. It's going to be right. Go to B first. The car has run a distance equal to the perimeter of the track, right? When it has completed one round, the distance is perimeter. Yes, B is correct. Then the first answer cannot be the answer, right? Go to A again, right? Its displacement is 0 when it completes one round of track, right? It's moving in along a oval shaped track, right? Oval shaped track. When you start from here, right, completed a complete cycle, right, then the distance covered is the perimeter. It's correct. The B statement is correct. The A statement, once it reaches again here, the displacement is 0. Yes, it's correct, because the distance between the initial and final point is 0. Then A, B are correct. The response should be third, right? None other but answers. Okay. Now go to the answer C. A clause which has been introduced to you, or an idea which has been introduced to you, right, in O level, right, first time in this paper. Okay. That's why they have selected as C, the statement as C, right, and they make that statement as wrong, right? If you are familiar with A and B now, right, if you take A and B correct, then you will directly go to the AB answer, the third answer, right? But in the C, they have given the wrong answer, wrong statement, but since it's not in your syllabus, means until 2007, right, we don't consider this portion in your O-level syllabus, it's there in the A-level, right? But to introduce in the O-level syllabus, they have given the C, they have given the statement in the C and not to select the C, right? What is the statement given there? The car has run with a uniform velocity. They have given for the complete motion, the velocity of the car is 30 km per hour. You may think that the statement is telling you the true idea, since it's not true. If they have mentioned this as speed, doesn't matter, it's correct, but they have given as velocity. Very careful. when we are talking about the velocity, we are not talking about only the magnitude, we are considering the direction as well. Now think, when the object is starting from here, the velocity, the magnitude is 30 km/h minus 1 in this direction. But once it comes somewhere here, the velocity of the object is 30 km/h, right, in this direction. Considering the velocity with the value with the direction, right, this is differ from this because of the direction, not with the magnitude. Because of the direction, this differ from this. Then this is not constant velocity because of the direction, right? Direction continuously changing. It's not constant but velocity, right? It's an acceleration. There is an acceleration. You don't think about that acceleration. It's there in your advanced level. When you come to advanced level, you will find it, right? This is accelerating motion, right? Since the value is not changing, without changing the magnitude, that can accelerate. How it is accelerating, you can study in the advanced level, right? It's not in your level, don't worry, right? Then because of the change in direction, velocity is not uniform. That is the statement, right? But the statement is, that is the correct statement. The statement given here is the car has run but with a uniform velocity. It's wrong, right? It's running with the changing velocity, right? Write that explanation. It have been given here. I've been given here, right? Write that explanation at this point, right? And keep this in your mind. Sometimes directly a statement can be given for your exam paper, right? Because it's there in your syllabus. This knowledge you should have considering your syllabus. Okay, then that is the 2007 O-level paper, O-level question from linear motion, right? I'll wind up the class at this point, right? Inshallah, we'll continue the rest in the next video. Barakallahu feekum, jazakumullah khair.